because once we get a Santa copy, maybe if someone calls us, we can kind of go over it with them and explain what procedure they should go through.
Mr. Chairman, Wayne Smith again. Disaster.gov, the phone number anybody here could call for some legal guidance or assistance is the general FEMA number, 1-800-621-3362. Please call that. And it's free. It's free advice. They'll guide you through, according to the webpage here, insurance claims, new wills, powers of attorneys, home repair, problems with landlords, proof of home ownership, FEMA appeals. Yes, ma'am. Phone number is 1-800-621-3362. FEMA. 1-800-621-FEMA. Toll free.
At this time, I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I hope you were able to answer some of the questions you had. I'm sure.
Kelly Dyke.
Okay, come on in.
As I step down, Mr. Chairman, I appreciate you and other members that helped me battle this
Thank you.
issue with these programs.
Thank you. You've really been, I mean, really, you have honestly been a good help.
We're gonna keep fighting.
And I did want to let y'all know that I have some handouts. There are a lot of different scams going on out around about natural disaster, home repair, and charity scams. And I will leave these here if anybody wants to pick one up to take with them.
Also, I will encourage.
On the Kelly Dyke. Yeah.
As you know, the Kelly Dyke breached and did flood the Kelly area. We've got some members of the drainage for the Dyke committee here. Want to stand up?
No, we just want Kelly.
Okay.
We need.
And these folks. What's going on with this is this was a project that was originally done by the Corps of Engineers, and they have really not taken ownership of it now. And we are trying right now to get USDA money for this through the EWP program. That's a federal program. So it's in the works. We've got a state engineer coming down to see if this will allow this to happen. So we'll talk about it a little bit.
No, I'm Chip Campbell. I work with Natural Resource Conservation Service here in Elizabethtown. What Dean said was correct. I think right now, after talking with Bradley today, basically we need to get something from the Corps of Engineers that says that they will not fund it. And once we find out they will not, then we've got another federal program that I think will. But they just want to make sure that there's no double dipping in federal dollars. So the Corps, even though they built it, I guess in the 60s, it was handed over to a group. And the Corps, I guess, has disowned it. My understanding, I got limited knowledge of it, but my understanding, maybe there was some maintenance that wasn't done, trees growing up on the dike. I think the Corps won't help because of that, but this program will. So we just need the Corps to say that they can't, that they won't fund it, and then I think we've got some federal money. Keep in mind, though, the program that Dean and I are referring to will only restore it back to pre-storm condition. So I say again, limited knowledge, but it sounds like there may be some bigger issues with the dike. Basically, this program is a Band-Aid. It's going to patch what was damaged, but I still think there'll need to be some future monies to completely evaluate the dike and restore it to what it was meant to do when it was designed in the 60s.
Let me propose this. At our last commissioners meeting, and I addressed our attorneys, and we have got some information, but this particular part that I'm fixing to say wasn't addressed. And y'all may have the answer, and that's why I'm going to ask, because I'm sure a lot of people want to know. When the individual owners that own the land surrendered it or allowed it to be used for the dike, was there any wording in that when they either loaned the land or gave rights to the land that they could continue, if you're a logger or whatever, cut you a way to go through there and haul your logs, which destroys your dike? What provisions was put in there if, even though you gave your land, where it entitled you to do destruction of that land, then for it not to fulfill what the purpose and the use was. And I haven't got an answer to that yet, but I would think when it was written up, that something should have been put in there to protect it. And you guys may know, I don't know, but if it's not, we're gonna be right back in the same situation when you fix it again from talking to these people from Kelly, and I've talked to a number of them.
If I may ask,
Yes,
who
sir.
is actually responsible for the upkeep of the dike?
I definitely don't know.
I don't have knowledge of those easements, but I do have knowledge of the Bright Swamp easements. And they would forbid us from doing anything to destroy the travelway, or we can't let livestock get into the run. There's a long list of stuff we cannot do. But we just got a problem with the Bright Swamp thing, is we got a corporation that won't take ownership, that took the money and built a bunch of ditches up above Blainboro and did not dig out. And it's flooding Blainboro. Did not do me any harm this time. I done have as much harm as I can have. But it did flood Blainboro. And Blainboro would have flooded this time. But for Floyd and Matthews, if that thing had been constructed as originally planned and submitted to soil conservation or whoever it was, if it had been constructed as originally planned, we wouldn't have had flooding in Blainboro and Matthew and Floyd. Now, 31 inches, we know it's there. We know it's there. We got 31 inches in the bank vault at Blainboro.
But I think we still need clarification on that, even if we fix it, regardless whose money fixes it. If we don't fix that problem, then what have we done? We're right back where we were.
Well, Mr. Chair, I'm trying to figure, what documents are out? Have we, I asked
That's been my
some
request.
documents, I haven't seen a document.
Yes, sir, Mr.
Well,
Martin.
the documents the legislation that created the possibility for the Kelly Dyke and Drainage District we had from 1961, and that authorized the county to hold a referendum to allow the citizens in that district to vote. They approved that and it's established it.
The 10 cents.
And, well, there was an authorization for the county to levy up to 10 cents, that's exactly right. At some point in the past, that was discontinued.
But I wanna know how do we get the land from that owner? What document says, yeah, we can
There-
use it for,
Yeah, there must have been a legal easement that was provided.
okay, have you seen that? That's what I want.
I haven't, no, I have not.
Can
seen it.
anybody find that?
Well, that's what I've been asking for. I want to know what's in it, and even though I gave the land, what gives me the right to go back
And destroy it.
and
That's right.
destroy the property? Because there's the problem with the dike, from what I'm hearing.
Amen.
But we need that answered before we spend any more money, regardless whose money it is. I mean, if it's the federal government's money, I was sure they probably want to know.
Well, the Corps of Engineers had to get access to the easement or something to go across to the middle thing.
True.
So the Corps of Engineers should have paperwork.
I'll get Alicia to work on that tomorrow.
They had to be the one to do it.
And Elliot Henry made that comment to us several years ago, bunches of years ago. You folks in Kelly, have y'all heard, and I know y'all heard this, you folks in Kelly do not realize how essential that dike is to y'all for your safety. That dike goes behind my son's house. Personally, he went back there and worked. He pushed up 3 to 4 foot of dirt. He said, Mama, I would have lost my whole house if he hadn't done that work.
But he still had a lot of damage.
He flooded.
He's out.
I know that. That's what I know.
His house is gone, my brother's house is gone.
Yeah.
My neighbor's house is gone. We're a little community, but we're full of power and we're full of God's grace. And I have to believe that He is going to carry us through this.
And you need some protection, even if the dike's fixed, that it won't occur again by mankind doing the destruction.
Yes.
And that's all I want to know is, what
It
was the agreement?
was my home for 41 years. And it's something that's got to be done.
And Chairman, those documents are probably on file in my office unless it went through the court system. Like land being condemned or taken or whatever, that would be. If not, if it was a given easement, it would be in my office.
Thank you. We've asked council for that information, and we got some information, but none of that, as I overlooked, and the other commissioners can speak. It didn't address that, and that's what it was a lot of reading, but that was never in there. Anything else on the dike?
Can I ask one quick question?
Yes, sir.
You mentioned that there might be another program fund. The holes in the dike are still there, and the water may still rise because it's controlled, the level of the river is controlled by what falls upstream. What kind of time frame are we talking about to get that program in place and then get repairs?
Yeah, good question. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it because they joke around it. EWP stands for Emergency Watershed Program, but they call it Eventual Watershed Program. But once it's a contract, you only have 220 days to fix it, so that's good. The downside is it can take months to get paid. So the contract to get it done is not that timely, but the reimbursement can be. And we've talked with several state legislators because after Hurricane Matthew, we learned that there's so many, and I hate to call it red tape, but so much red tape that you have to go through for permitting, wildlife habitat things that you have to check, that it just got completely in the way of everything. So we're trying to get some help streamlining that stuff, but I hope that answers the question.
Well, I just want to make a comment that, if you look at the flooding in the river, now that the levee has been breached, that whole community is very susceptible right now. So you may have months, not hundreds of days. We may have months before the next event.
Right.
Could we get an explanation? I'd like to know why the Corps of Engineers will not reconstruct it. I'd like to have an answer to that.
Their answer, about 9 years ago, we went in and tried to repair some of the bulkheads on the dike. And because it was allowed to grow up with trees, they don't consider it their project anymore. And they kind of disowned it and left it to the citizens of Kelly to manage, and they just dropped ownership on it. They would have to be brought in and ask any specifics.
Who allowed it to be overgrown? Who was
I guess
maintaining
nobody
it
maintained
originally?
it, like a lot of things happened through the years. If you don't maintain something,
If
it'll grow
they
up.
were the ones to construct it, were they not the ones that were to,
Individual landowners, it just grew up. You can't even see it on a map now. It's just a big.
I took the time to read a bunch of statutes involving, like the Lime Swamp Project. I haven't read statutes on the dike, but the Lime Swamp Project and the project at Waynesboro. The way those things were designed was, it was supposed to be a corporation. That corporation was given the right to tax the people that were benefiting from it. And that corporation was supposed to maintain it.
And I think in this case, at our meeting, the corporation sort of dissolved itself and got weak, and it sort of just gradually went away. Am I saying that correctly?
Yes, sir. If there has been a tax, it was very little. We have very little money to work with at all.
Yes, sir.
It's not, in this particular case, it's not a corporation, it's actually a political subdivision of the state, which is like what the county is, so it's an entity of the state. And the county, the Board of County Commissioners was the entity to actually levy the tax and then convey that money to that group.
To the group.
Right.
And the group sort of just let it.
Well, there's still a group on record. I mean, they're formal board members,
But
but
not
as far as that, I don't know how the activity has
Right, not
transpired.
active.
There's only 3 members on the committee.
And that's how.
Who's got to fix it?
All right, no further discussion, we are adjourned this meeting.
Wait a minute, I got
Yes, ma'am.
something to say, and you're gonna listen whether you want to or not. It's been a long time since I've had dealings with county commissioners or anybody from Lake County. Spent 20 years on volunteer rescue, and that's how I was associated with county commissioners. We got all new ones now, so I don't know any of you. But I know during that time, we had to pull tooth and nail to get anything done for Kelly. Kelly is the lower end, it's always been left out, it's been ignored. My house was flooded when I left home today to take my daughter to the hospital. I had people tearing out what was left. I don't have anything left. Our memories are at the side of the road. I thought I'd be able to salvage something. But that proved to be wrong. I was lucky enough to find rental property, for which I'm thankful. But I know that that dike is the reason that my house, along with a lot of the other houses, flooded. I realize how things get left to the side sometimes, how things just kind of go down because people don't pay attention. These two gentlemen here, I go to church with them, so I hope they'll forgive me for what I'm saying, because it has nothing to do with them personally. But that dike should have been maintained. And if it weren't gonna be maintained, then we needed to know it. Not one or two people in Kelly, but everybody in Kelly should have been notified that the Corps of Engineers was giving this property up. And it's up to you individuals to keep it maintained so that this does not happen. And it never was. You know, somebody has to take responsibility for what that dike did. And if there is anything that I can do to help with that, I would be more than happy to. I personally know what you were speaking about when you said several people from Kelly you had talked to, and I know what you were told, and you were told the truth. And I know that those people, along with a lot of other people, are responsible, but they're gonna go carefree, and they don't care, because they got the money that they needed by knocking holes and breaking down that dike to get their logging equipment through, and a lot of other things. They got their money, they got paid for that timber, they did what they wanted to do, and look what they did to us. Well, it's not fair.
Ma'am, I hope you understand. I asked at the last meeting, and I asked our attorney to find out. I can assure you, I'm trying to find out who did do it, and if they had the right to do it. And I personally feel like they should be held accountable if they didn't have the rights. So please understand that my direction would be to our fellow commissioners to seek the damage and fix it, and not the people of Kelly at this point.
I don't think the people of Kelly should have to fix it,
But
but I also think that
But
Kelly.
that's why I'm adamant about it, and I ask, and I'll keep asking.
And I
Just like
appreciate it.
no blame to these people with FEMA. They're doing their job.
I appreciate it, I appreciate what
But
FEMA's
we all need to
doing,
be on the same page.
We do.
And I'll keep turning that page if somebody gives me the right answer.
but we're the ones who got the loss and suffered the loss. Those people should reimburse us for the loss.
agree.
But what I have said is of no reflection on any of you, because like I said, I don't know you. Dealings I had were with previous county commissioners, and I'm not saying that I didn't respect or appreciate them. It's just with anything you have to fight for whatever you believe is right. And that's all I gotta say. Thank you for listening, whether you wanted to or not.
Just the day to see them.
At this time, we would adjourn. Some of us got another meeting and done another meeting. Thank everyone.